so this is episode, if I got the number right, 47. If you wish to challenge the dungeon, the key to getting in is to type exclamation point challenger in chat. That will not get you any prize. That is merely for your shot to fight me, the Dungeon Master, for prizes. Here is the dungeon map. All players will start in room 1. If you beat the deck that is for room 1, then you can move to any connected room, which would be 2, 8, 5, or 15 here. And you are working your way towards one of the 4 remaining final bosses, which are 19, 17, 10, and 12. Your choice where you go. The grand prize continues to grow regardless of which direction you go. Matches are best of 1. You win, you move on. You lose, your run is done. This is immortal format. All sets are allowed. Your decks can only include common and uncommon cards, with the exception that you may use rare shards. So commons, uncommons, and rare shards are what you can use. All sets legal. You may use multiple different decks over the course of your dungeon run. You can switch decks between every single fight if you wish, as long as every deck you use obeys those rules. As you can see here, we had a couple more final bosses knocked off than we had last week on my own channel on Wednesday night last week. 4 people made it to a final boss, and 2 people walked away with the grand prize. I will not be streaming from my own channel this week, aka tomorrow, because tomorrow is one of the busiest work days of the week for me, or sorry, one of the busiest work days of the year, because any car accident that happened Friday afternoon through tomorrow morning, all landing in my inbox at the same time. It's going to be insane, and I'm not going to have a whole lot of energy left tomorrow, so no stream tomorrow. We're going to leave it all out on the table here today. So if you have any questions on the format, please let me know. Happy to answer any questions. I have 3 people in the list thus far to challenge the dungeon. So early bird gets the worm here. You have pretty good odds right now. We're going to roll for our first challenger. The winner is Fred. Fred, you're up first. The night is young, so if you were not selected, worry not. There is a ton of time yet. Alright, and Fred. Thought we might be on friends list. Matters not. / whisper for Fred. Challenge when ready. Alright, so we are just waiting on the challenge from Fred. And then we will kick off our first dungeon run of the night. Alright, so get back over to this page. That was sent standard. Alright, there we go. I know if the challenge wasn't sent right because my list of decks becomes much, much, much smaller. Alright, Fred versus the Fear of Butterflies. Alright, we'll go first. He is rolling with Furico. I don't think this hand does enough on its own, so we're going to toss that. I mean, this is still 2 shards, but this is 2 shards with a pretty solid playable in it. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Play Sapphire and pass. Fred also playing a shard and passing. Look at that. Party fungi. So Whimsy Witch can be a turn 2, Party Fungi can be turn 3. And then we're swinging with a witch that's going to be powered up. For which Fred will have no immediate response. By the way, Fred hates Party Fungi and repeatedly wants me to ban it. And watch... Oh no! No! Huh. At the start of your turn, revert this. Well, that did stop the damage from going through. And it's going to revert, so the one shot doesn't really matter so much. It was a solid hit. Shame we didn't get to connect with it. Cloud kill. This deck hates flight. Alright, might as well swing in for one with the Party Fungi, because there's no blockers. No risk. We don't have to worry about overwhelming guilt in Wild. Ooh, good old Rekosaurus. This is a 5/3. When this attacks, attacking troops you control get crush this turn. So, if we want to play this safe, the safe plan of action is to turn that into a butterfly. And then I want a Battle of Destiny to get rid of the Rekosaurus. And I'm going to put a non-resource on top of the deck. And then swing for 7. No, swing for 8. This first deck in the dungeon has no rares in it. The dungeon decks, as one gets deeper into the dungeon, may include select rares or legendaries to kind of fill in the role of AI-only cards. Fred prepared. Slaps down another flyer. Alright, this isn't the way I wanted to do this, but Party Fungi is going to turn into a squirrel and swing. Deal 6. Put Fred down to 8. Fred up to 6 resources. Probably doesn't swing here, but might. Alright, here's Whimsy Witch number 3. This guy's +3/+3 and crush. Cannot play both at the same time. I'm just going to throw down the Whimsy Witch. Pass. Hit a shard, and it's probably GG with this transforming, this going. Verdant Rift. Ow. Too bad that can't swing right now. So that's a 9/9 crush until the start of the next turn. A resource, though, is still GG. Yeah, you can have that. A resource is still a game. That's not a resource. Fred going big for it. So now I played the Spell Song Sweeties, so I can't play Pummel. That is a resource. I could swing and hope for a flying troop, but if not... Alright, let's see. I'm not swinging, and I'm going to see if I made a huge mistake. Palm of Granite, another Verdant Rift here. Either of those would be really bad. What does Fred have? Fred has Battle of Destiny, taking out the party fungi. Okay, I thought that was a resource. It's not. Okay, so... This is unfortunate. Really would have loved to have found a resource by now. I don't think it's wise to swing in with just the Whimsy Witch. If I don't draw a resource on this next turn, though, I might just YOLO swing with the Whimsy Witch and the Spell Song Sweeties. A shard can still do it. Another Clobberdon. A shard enables the Runic Chrysalis to come back, so that can be turned into a flyer, which would turn the Spellsong Sweetie into a flyer, and that's 8 damage in the air. Would also have enough resources for Puff the Rainbow to turn the Dryad into a Merry Butterfly. The Ring of Blightbark was a portal. Putting cards back in the deck. Is this the resource? Really? Still not a resource. And gained 5 health. Okay, so we don't have it anymore. Still waiting on a resource to put this one over the top. And I think Fred would like the same. Fred finds one. Jubilant Jouster is now a 7/7. I'm going to take it all. A little bit risky. Now, come on, Shard. How does one not have... How many turns in a row have we gone without finding a 5th Shard? Alright. Dungeon is going. Give it to you. Target a troop you control. Oh, yeah, now I flip it. Now I flip it. Swinging now was probably a huge mistake, but I got tired of waiting on that resource. Can pummel once. How's the newest dungeon coming along? Any hope for Locket/Jankbot builds to have an opportunity in the new Spires? Um, yeah, this next turn I will probably be all right. To answer your question, Champion of Solaris, I was going to announce later, but yes, the new dungeon is going to start next week. I have enough. I have the bare minimum decks to make every one of the mini dungeons playable. I'd like to build a few more, but I have enough to actually get the show on the road and get that started. I want to do a little bit of lore work on my end, but it's nothing urgent. Well, it's finished enough to start. There's a big difference between that and done. There are higher floors that I should have played this to have a Poppy Pixie. There are higher tiers with different rules that I do not have decks built for yet, but since people have to fight their way up to those, I have a lot of time. But yeah, new dungeon next week. Let's buff this up, and that should be GG. So I'm quite excited for that. I'm going to be writing the final bits of lore, well, the initial bits of lore at least to kick things off. So going to be a very different way of looking at things next week. And let me post the link here to that real quick. Because the other part of your question was, will Jankbot or Locket decks have an opportunity to shine? You could try to roll with those in the Gold Tower. You could also try those for the Prismatic Gold Tower in areas where it meets the rules. But there's a link to the rules for the dungeon that's kicking off next Tuesday. And GG's Fred. Let me get the prize list updated. That was our first try and failure since the prize pool has reset. So if you want a link to the prize list itself to see what we're building off of, that list will get you to the prize list right there. The current prize pool is 10,000 gold, a Dead of Winter booster, and 3 rares, Filcape, Trial of Totems, and an alternate art Blessing of Unicorns. So that's what we are working with right now. If you wish to challenge the dungeon, again, the rules are common and uncommon cards only, immortal format, so all sets are allowed, with the exception that you may use rare resources. So if you have a deck that meets those rules and you would like to challenge me for a shot at some sweet loot here, exclamation point challenger, I'll let you do that. It's not case sensitive. I figured out how to fix that. And second up, Jakisha. And Jakisha, is it the same, just Jakisha in-game name? / whisper Jakisha. Alright, Jakisha is our second contestant of the evening. If nobody else enters exclamation point challenger, then Stigma Buster by default will be our next one. Immortal. Needs to be immortal. Alright, Jakisha is our second contestant of the night. Alright, Jakisha up in the house. Bring in Cassia Golden Light. And I'm going to go ahead and keep this. We have a Fate Weave Shard, a Shard, Whimsy Witch on 2, Party Fungi on 3. With the assistance of a Wild Growth, this hand is perfectly acceptable. Definitely need to Fate Weave for a resource, though. Want to make sure that the deck continues to curve out well. Hope y'all had a Merry Christmas and have enjoyed some time off. I know I have, though I dread going back into work tomorrow. It's been a fun 4-day weekend. Can't believe it's Tuesday already. Tuesday night, practically Wednesday already. Alright, so Jakisha gets a Candle Can off the Runic Condescence, immediately hits a resource to get another. Has the resources necessary to flame like this, and that is exactly what's going to happen. 3 candles now. Alright, so that alters our trajectory a bit here. I think I throw down the Bluebell Dryad to have a blocker against candles. We'll see if it sticks around or if it gets removed right away. Alright, so now the question is building out or building up? And Jakisha is now building up. Does take out my blocker. Probably going to make these 3/3s, and now swinging in for 9. Okay, and so Party Fungi and Belligerent Badger. It might have been better just to play the Fungi and leave the resource up for Wild Growth. Now that I think about it, could have taken out a candle. I'm just going to chump 1. We're just dead. I don't think the play matters. I'm gonna morph you, and I have no resources, so pass. All right, so technically not dead. Block 1 candle, chump another, take 4. But any illuminate trigger gets one of these to a 5/5, and it is over. No swing. Seek some adventure. Ooh, okay. So, champion power to make that a 7/7. Battle of Destiny number 1 to snipe a candle. Battle of Destiny number 2 to snipe a candle. And now I think I just have to hold. So I hold with a 7/7 to block a candle. Oh, nope, just a 4/4. But still, a thing that can block a candle. Does swing in with it. I wish I could wild growth, but waxed on is what I was expecting, which would probably make this bigger and therefore take out our blocker. Oh, two-party fungi with nothing to transform. Wild growth doesn't even help here. Alright, so it's a block or die situation. And now starting to grow out again. Alright. Might be able to... and nope. Nope, that's the game right there. That's the game. There was a line where this could have blocked that one, and then wild growth, and they trade, and then this takes out that candle if that one swings. But it's all for naught when they can fly right over. So Jakisha is going to take out the first deck of the dungeon, and now we'll have the choice on where to go from here. Alright, so room 5, 15, 2, or 8 is the choice. Either way, you're going towards the northwest, the northeast, the southwest, or the southeast corner. Those are the 4 bosses. Alright, room 2. Go ahead and send a challenge when you are ready. Alright, you need a second to see your deck. That is fine. No worries. We have 2 challengers in the queue right now who've not played tonight. Champion of Solaris and Stigma Buster. As always, as you can see on the screen, exclamation point challenger gets you in the queue to face off against me in the name of glory and prizes. All codes given away on this channel are provided by Hex Entertainment to me for the use of giveaways. Everything that I am giving away as part of the dungeon prize itself is part of my own personal collection. I do accept donations for use as part of the show's prizes as well, but currently it is 100% self-funded. Just so you know the difference between the 2 prize sources. Show does cost me a bit of money to run because I'm giving away my own stuff, but obviously I'm fine with that because I've been doing it for 10 months and I enjoy the heck out of running the show. Because where else do you get to run crazy decks like butterflies and running a deck that uses zombie plague like the zombie deck does in this dungeon? We get to do some wild and crazy things, and I appreciate everybody who has been a part of the ride over the last 10 months, including our 2nd week now as part of the official channel lineup. So Jakisha is currently just making a few modifications to the deck, and we'll be sending a challenge. There we go, and we are running deck number 2. Where's 2? Oh, here we go. Alright, number 2 is the fear of animals. Stigbuster says hashtag Thrawn Exalted 2018. I appreciate the love. I think there's a lot of people ahead of me in line for that particular honor. A lot of people who've done some great stuff. We have such an awesome community surrounding this game. A lot of people doing a lot of cool stuff. I am pleased to be a part of that. Yeah, this is fine. An escape goat and 2 Mama Yetis, assuming we live to 4. Thank you. I am such a professional streamer. Can you tell? I am elite. Uh, Next level plays. You didn't need to see the game. The map was fine. All right. So my starting hand, since I obscured it like a genius, is an escape goat, 2 Mama Yetis, and a pheromones. Now, pheromones is an old card from set 1. For those of you unfamiliar with it, target troop gets opposing troops must block if able this turn. So you're basically throwing one troop under the bus, where all of their troops have to block one particular troop, so that everything else gets to sail through completely free. It is a very powerful effect. And we find another 4-drop, the Buffalo Lord. The Lord of all Buffaloes. Make us some more beasts. More beasts, more buffaloes. Alright, I would really like to see another shard pop up so that I know I'm gonna hit these on time. There it is. Alright, so I can swing in with the escape goat. I'm going to assume it'll get blocked, but then it gets replayed. And Mama Yeti will be free on 4. Well, it won't be free. It will be playable. The Mama Yeti shall be unleashed on turn 4. No swings. Although the goat can't block. And we have Crash of Beasts, summon 1 Rhino with escalation. But Mama Yetis are much better. And that's only 3 attack on the board. Swing in with El Mama Yeti. And the scapegoat cannot be recast right now because all the resources went into throwing down the Yeti. The scapegoat is going to have a very hard time finding a way through Jakisha's deck. Just throw a candle in front of it, and the goat's scared of candles. The goat will retreat in the face of any opposition. Very cowardly goat. These are the collectors. Kickstarter collector AA alternate art escape goats, which I like better than the regular art. That's a very majestic goat. Alright, find a 5th resource. I don't think the threshold matters. Go Mama Yeti into champion power. He could be holding up Frost Blast. There could be a Frost Blast in there. There could be a lot of other things. I'm not gonna champion power right now. You know what? I'm gonna scapegoat and full swing instead. I was thinking about putting champ power onto a Mama Yeti and then play pheromones to force everything to block the Super Yeti, but I think one of these is about to get blown up. I'm not sure why else an Illuminate deck would hold 3 resources unless it's a threshold situation needing that second ruby. Alright, so there's the boss. Oh, a Wax Dawn could also be, yep. You speak its name and it shows up. Alright, so can only take out 1 candle and a Mom Yeti's gonna go. Okay, so there was an answer. I was just afraid of I was thinking of the wrong answer. Alright, Jakisha seeking some guidance. Champion of Solaris, you want out? Alright. Appreciate you letting me know, because I can just click to disqualify you, so... let me know if you want back in later, and I can re-click to activate you. Because for you, champion typing exclamation challenger is not going to work anymore. So the two people in the queue right now then are Neomaster and Stigma Buster, who've not had a chance to play yet tonight. Everybody else, if you were in the queue and you were selected, your name is grayed out again until I renew the queue, so that we can try to keep a fresh lineup of people going. What do I want to play on? Oh, you know what? I should have put pheromones on the escape goat. Make both of those block the goat, swinging for 8. Because now watch these get buffed to 5/5. Alright, well, let's see if Buffalord can help out. Jakisha is at 10 health, 6 resources. Thresholds should not be an issue at 3 a pop. Runic Candescence. I expect probably to see Jakisha try to go wide here and build a board, rather than leaning too heavily on a single Candlekin. And now they're all flying. The fiver might swing in. It does not. Alright, so what's better than crashing once? Crashing twice. For 3 rhinos. Swing with the escape goat, because why not? It'll go back in the hand, it's all good. Alright. Now we might, with 3 candles out, Jakisha might opt to go vertical now, and does. 6. That's 10 attack. Pheromones probably steals a game here. 3, 6, 9 plus 2 equals 11. Although, yes, because Scapegoat, everything can block Buffalo Jesus. The rhinos get through. Leaning on the back of one of our AI-only cards, the Crash of Rhinos, to give us some animals. Although, well, no. Alright, so what is the play here? Wax Dawn. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Primordial Silverback. Put this from your hand into your deck. Target troop gets +4/+4 and crush this turn. I don't think that's going to be needed. Without the pheromones, this would still block this. And this would be 3, 6, 9, 11? Even without the pheromones? Yeah, that was I don't think it matters given the hand we had, but I don't know that that was the line. We're going to make you block that, though. Block our smelly goat. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. Yep, he says he miscalculated. Womp womp womp. Yeah, even if you hadn't punted, it would be lethal thanks to pheromones. So don't feel too bad about that one. Good games, Jakisha. Let me update the prize list here. We are adding another 2,000 gold into the prize pool, which now stands at 12,000 gold. Gonna roll for the next challenger. It's either gonna be Neomaster or Stigma Buster. And it is Stigma Buster! Neomaster highly likely to get the next run, because we still have more than 2 hours of stream time left, so if you're hanging around, you should have your shot. And if anybody else is not challenged and wants in, exclamation point challenger's the way to do it. If I've cleared the queue and every single person who wanted in has had a shot, then I will renew everyone's name who has entered, and you will all be clear to challenge again. And we will just start re-rolling, folks. Alright, Stigma Buster, aka Raptos, longtime viewer of the show. Definitely knows how we do our business here. After Stigma Buster's run here, we will also have our first giveaway of the night. I will roll for an Evo code. Let me make sure that this is functioning properly before I tell people to do anything. Okay. Yeah. For the last one. Okay, so at the end we will be rolling. It'll be based off chat activity. I leave the keyword for people challenging me, and then I use active chat for Evo giveaways, because that way I can actually do both at the same time. So you do not have to type in exclamation point Evo. I mean, you can if you want. It counts as being active in chat, but you do not specifically have to type that. Alright, Fate Weaving for another resource. Do need to find a wild threshold. Also want to make sure getting to 3 for Bluebell and able to carry on from there. You feel guilt for only being active now. That's okay. I hope, even if you're not an active chatter and you're just kind of more of a lurker watching, I hope that you are enjoying the show and having a good time. Obviously, it doesn't work as a game show without people challenging me, but I don't want anybody who's watching to feel obligated to throw your name in the ring either. And thus far, show's been going on long enough. I have enough people who do enjoy the challenge that we are very rarely hurting for people to throw in. Well, good, Haru from LOL. Which I'm gonna guess is League of Legends. Glad to hear you're having a good time. Alright, so Raptos is running Deathcry. Has Corpse Lily out Deathcry, summon a zombie. I do need that threshold, and I'm going to go ahead and grab a 4th as well. Throw down the Spell Song Sweeties. And let's see what RNGesus gives us. No! No! Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. So it turns into Lord Adam the Powerful, a unique troop, and because you can't have 2 unique troops out, the first one died, and this is going to revert back into Spell Song Sweeties. Oh, rip Jakisha's ears. Sorry, that's an Alucard moment, but dang, that's literally the worst. That is literally the worst. Raptos has 3 death cry triggers on this now. Summon a zombie, summon 2 cadaver beetles. Doesn't swing with it. Alright, so Lord Adam. Yep, Merry Christmas from RNG. Alright, I want the Whimsy Witch out. We're going to try this again with a better, hopefully a better result next time. Not swinging with the Spell Song Sweeties. Lord Adam. It only would have ever been a 4/4. We don't have any of the other pieces for that in this deck. Boy, I would love a Void action, but this deck doesn't have one. Okay, here's the sacrifice trigger Raptos wanted. This will eat the other one to make that bigger, and all of a sudden there's a mess of other troops out on that side of the board. So the board got very, very good for Raptos, and rather dicey for the Dungeon Master. Alright. I want to play with fire. Swing in. Yeah. Only a 4. I'm playing real loose with this one because I don't think the butterflies have what they're going to take to overcome the setup Raptos had. So I just want to kind of swing in and make some crazy shenanigans happen. Yeah, I'm gonna play really, really loose this first round because I think that board is just too much for this to handle. So that would be 4, that'd be 8. Nah, let's do this like a pro. We're swinging with all... Okay, no, we're going to swing with just those two. Oh, and then we draw the party fungi. Oh, one turn too late, man. One turn too late. Alright. So now we're gonna die, which is fine. There's a Bladebark Paladin too. And I'm not sure there's a combination of events of blocks where I don't die here. That's an go like that, go like that, go like that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, that's still lethal. Okay. So we'll try to play that. We'll try to play it more seriously on the next match with a deck that might be better equipped to handle all of that. But when Raptos was able to that quickly go that wide, it's like, yeah, all right, you got me. All right, so now we need to know from Raptos room 2, 5, 15, or 8. And that's going to dictate what path Raptos wants to take through the dungeon. You're shocked that worked? You slapped that together 15 minutes before showtime? Well, yeah, throwing all those Deathcry triggers on that fast, man. Butterflies have no way in that deck to cope. All right, so room 2. All right, so we're going the same path through the fear of butterflies. Not the fear of butterflies, the fear of animals. Butterflies just fell. So this is zoophobia, aka the fear of animals. I'm going to remember to take down the dungeon map this time. If you are just tuning in, welcome. You are watching Dungeon Masters of Entrath, the Hex Game Show. Now a part of the official channel for the second week. I create dungeons of my own design. Every room in the dungeon is a different deck, and the decks always stay the same, so you kind of know what you are getting into, although that's going to change a little bit next week. The current format is commons and uncommons only, with the exception that you may use rare resources. Next week we are starting a massive new dungeon, which is really 5 sub-dungeons all in one. It will feel like a kind of a community raid, and I'm going to have a post in the forums about it. But the document I just linked in chat is for what is going to be happening next week. So study that up, decide what towers you have decks for and which decks, floors you want to challenge. The silver towers are meant more for beginning players, whereas people who have a bigger collection may want to go after the gold towers, so there's something for everybody. It is immortal format. Sol Talgon. Why do I have trouble pronouncing that for some reason? But yes, immortal is the format. For tonight's dungeon, commons and uncommons only. No rare or legendaries unless they're shards. I think I'm going wild shard into buffalo on 2. I think that's the way to do it. Many of these decks that you see in tonight's dungeon are going to be part of the silver dungeon or the silver tower for what happens next week. That tower by far is going to have the most deck diversity because that is the format I've been building on for months and months, and everything else I'm kind of working off and building onto as we go. I'm also going to be kind of assuming a much more Dungeons and Dragons style dungeon master role next week. That's going to be the first dungeon in the 10 months that I've been doing this show that actually has its own plot line to it, which will be unveiled bit by bit as people make their way through the dungeon and as more floors get cleared. That overall story will play out. But then I'm also going to try to do a little bit of narrative for every individual person as part of their run, just for fun. Most of it is just going to be kind of me making it up improv off the top of my head. If you've ever watched Critical Role, that I'm trying to go a little Matthew Mercer about it. I am looking to put together some pre-recorded stuff, but I think once you've seen it, you've seen it, and that's only kind of entertaining the first time. So I want to be more improvisational than trying to record a whole ton of stuff. Alright, now I'll throw it on the Yeti. I had no intention of swinging with the baby Yeti, so it didn't really matter what phase that came down. Baby Yetis are only in the deck because to have Mama Yetis, you have to have one Baby Yeti for every copy of Mama Yeti you throw on your deck. Alright, so there's now a bug out on the Relentless Zombie. 2 bug outs on the Relentless Zombie. Uh-oh, here we go again. And the charge power. When you see the charge power too. Target troop gets 2 attack and Death Cry, draw a card. all of the death cry. All right, so there's one, two, three, four death cries on a single relentless zombie, and that's a super dangerous thing too. Because if this dies, when a relentless zombie or a voracious zombie enters play under your control, if this is in your crypt, put it into play, and then it's free to die and create a ton of things again. That's a really nasty combo there, and it's a shame that there's no void for that. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw a baby yeti in front of that. Alright, now we have two mommy yetis. So swing pheromones. Pheromones could be the savior here, where if that explodes into its death cry of a million troops, pheromones doesn't really care. Pheromones makes all of those block, a sacrificial buffalo, and then the mommy yetis can sail through anyway. So Raptos still has three. And look at this. This one's gonna have the one shot on it. Sacrifices the relentless zombie again, and that board just explodes out with more beetles, with huge zombies. So what's the play here? Because it's possible to swing for 10, 11. It's possible to swing for 13. 5 plus 10 plus the charge power equals 13. And swing with this. Everything has to block pheromones. But then that's 6, 12, 15, 18. That's dead on the backswing. Could go champ power into that, make an 8/8 Yeti, and then pheromones it to make everything block it. Take out 3, 6, 7, 8. I think that might be the risk I have to take. Raptus, he keeps opening the nuts. Alright. So I am doing this in the name of trying to thin out that massive board. We're gonna go that and pheromones, so everything has to block it. And swing with 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. Alright, I'm swinging with everything. And I think I'm taking out 2 big guys and 2 little guys. Hey, it actually lined it up the way I was going to do it. Alright, it says 3, 6, 9, 12. That's 14 cracking back. No! No! The relentless zombie of a billion death cries is back. That combo. Want to buy any void action. Okay, so a scapegoat's a thing. Don't have charge power. Could make everything block the goat and deal 7. Swing with nothing that can't block. Block there. Block there. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm dead next turn. So there's no reason not to just go ham. Make the goat smelly. Swing. Hit for 7. So close, but not enough. So close, but not enough. So Raptos has cleared the first 2 decks in the dungeon run. Is going to be into the back half. Needs to win 2 more to claim the grand prize. And that will do it. I'm not even going to block. We know it's lethal. So let's pull up our dungeon map again. Raptos has defeated decks number 1 and 2. Now has the choice to either go 16 and 17 to finish this run, or rooms 9 and 10 to close out the journey. So 9 and 10, or 16 and 17. Would have won if I hadn't blocked with the Baby Yeti early on. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that not being the play on my part. Alright, we're going to go 9 into 10. But every once in a while, the Dungeon Master has to play like an actual AI. Send the challenge. Immortal. And 9 is the Avatar of Blood. Set a challenge. This one is from several dungeons ago. And I like Raptos challenges against, or odds against what this deck is going to do. This one will be one, no, kind of Deathcry, but not really Deathcry. On my side of the table, Takahiro, trying to force some sacrifices on Raptos' part, and I think Raptos will be only too happy to sacrifice things to make that happen. So big 25 to 18 health gap here to start. This hand is totally keepable. Have a Dread Botanist to keep cranking out Dreadlings. Corrupted Harvester. This can't be blocked except by Artifact Troops and or Blood Troops. May have some utility here, but Stigma Buster has a lot of Blood Troops, so it's going to be reasonably blockable. The life drain could be important. As a reminder, after this run, we will be doing a giveaway for an Evo code. You'll just need to have been active within the last, in chat within the last 20 minutes of Raptos run here. I want to mention that again because individual runs can take more than 20 minutes. So if you type something when Raptos run first started, you may time out by the end of it. I'll make sure everybody has fair notice because when Raptos run is done, I'm going to take a short break to refill my glasses of water. I'm out, and streaming and talking is thirsty work. So that'll be your real notice that the drawing is imminent, and get something in chat. But for now, you're fine. You don't have to worry that it's going to happen right this second without you knowing about it. Alright, so I'm going to play the Voracious Zombie. And go ahead and sacrifice that Dreadling to pump things up. And pass the turn. Jakisha, you would be able to go at it again. How I handle repeat players is that everybody who has entered exclamation point challenger and wants to challenge the dungeon, I keep running through that list to make sure everybody who actively wants to play me has had an opportunity. Then, if everybody has a chance, I will clear out the list, and anybody who wants to re-enter can enter again and will be eligible again. So you definitely could have an opportunity to go again. I think there may be one person left in the queue who's not gone yet, but we are planning to go for another couple hours. And Haru from LOL says, this dungeon challenge is pretty damn ingenious, to be honest. Started playing Hex not long ago. Good job, mate. Well, thank you. I wanted to create something because, you know, when you're playing when you're playing on the constructive ladder or in constructed tournaments, you know, the higher you go, you can see, you know, really finely tuned, strong competitive decks. But where's your place to play really weird, wacky kitchen table style decks? You know, and decks that may not be that great all on their own, but are really fun and thematic, have their own synergies. You know, that casual kind of kitchen table-y style of fun shenanigans is what I really wanted to play more of in Hex. And so I designed Dungeon Masters of Entrath as an excuse to force other people to also make wacky decks and then throw down and fight me and have some good times. Do I let this happen? Do I let this happen? You don't have any death cries on you? I'm going to concede that this could be the wrong play, but I'm just going to strangle that. And now next turn I plan to use the champion power here to take out the Dreadling. That will gain 3 health and draw us a card. Alright, so Blightbark Burster, when it dies, each opposing champion loses 3 health. And you'll note that is an entire wall of blood troops. So Corrupt Harvester's can't be blocked line is pretty dang irrelevant right now. You don't have your one shot. You have a death cry of summoning more Blight Blossoms. Gonna trade those. This deck was not really built well to handle a deck that wants to keep going wide to the extent that Raptos has shown capable. Let's get rid of a Dreadling, see what we get for it. Another Corrupt Harvester. I don't think it's worth my time to swing in here. Yeah, I have one person left in the keyword raffle who's not gone yet, and that's Meowmaster. So if nobody else enters exclamation point challenger to fight the dungeon, and Meowmaster still wants to go, they would be next. At which point then I will refresh the queue. So if anybody else steps in, it's going to be a roll, but otherwise, it's as it is right now, it's guaranteed Meowmaster. I'm going to go ahead and block this. The 3 we lose is going to counter the 3 we gain. Hexmusi, to be eligible, your deck is Immortal format, so all sets are legal. Common and uncommon cards only. You may not use rares or legendaries, with the exception that you may use rare shards. So the wells, any of the faction shards that are rare, those are all legal, because matches are best of one, and therefore by them being legal, fewer matches will end due to threshold variance. Because when you already have to win 4 games in a row, it's a real feel bad moment to get to the final boss and then never draw the resources you needed or the thresholds you needed. So I wanted to try to mitigate that some by allowing rare resources. Alright, this has Deathcry, steal a card off our deck. This has, again, Blight Blossoms. I think I take it. I'm not even sure the right strategy with this deck versus that Mountain to Deathcries. Rotting Knight. Deploy, you may sacrifice a troop. If you do, this gets +3/+3. Alright. So that's going to sacrifice something with a Deathcry for sure. Creates 2 Blight Blossoms. Becomes a 5/4. And gets choked. See ya. Thanks for playing. Okay, so now we stare awkwardly at each other. You still make Blight Blossoms, but I don't think you're that great otherwise. I think actually I want to start trying to be aggressive. I mean, if these trade, Blight Blossoms are just 1/1s. Okay, take out my life gain. I'll hit you for 6. But hey, I got another one of those. Wouldn't you know it? And now everything over there has 1 defense, so nothing can safely block a Dreadling, except there's a Relentless Zombie. He didn't have one yet? I thought something was going to come screaming out of the crypt for that, but no, it's just 1 Relentless Zombie right now. Alright, so 2 coming in the air, can't stop it. Another Dread Botanist. You don't have Deathcries on you yet. Let's see if Raptos wants to chump it or trade for it. Alright, goes that route, trading out 3 Blight Blossoms for 1 Voracious Zombie. Keeps that up just to safely block a Dreadling. Have not yet seen any combat tricks out of Raptos, so if this swings, I would assume that this is going to be a trade. And now we have perfect information, no cards in hand. That can't be blocked. Will we see it swing in? Put us on 9. They both swing. Yeah. I don't like to do that, but I'm going to take that trade. Get myself some Dreadlings. You know, here's an important sequencing thing. These can be sacrificed, but there's only 1 blocker. So we're going to let the Dreadlings attack first. 1 will get blocked. 1 point of damage is going to get through. And then after that, sacrifice the one that lived for 3 health and a card. Was hoping it was not going to be a shard. That had been the hope. Oh, and a Relentless Zombie's going to grab the other Relentless Zombie. That's really bad. Swings for 5. I'm going to let that through. I'm hoping not to hold on to the... give up the Dread Botanist yet, but next time it's going to be block for your lifetime. Okay, we're dead now. Pretty dead now. Gonna end up having to block these. And then take 5. And then have no board to stop a swing from everything again. So Raptos with a unique Deathcry build. I haven't seen anybody go this all in on this particular flavor of Deathcry before. And is gonna probably steal a card off the deck. Yep. Taking one of my cards. So, the only way to not die... That'd be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. How can you see the prize list? You can see the prizes by clicking that link, and that'll get you there. I keep the prize list as a... Let me know if you have issues with that link and it doesn't work, but I think it should. I keep it in a Google Docs so that it doesn't clutter up the screen, because, you know, just an ugly wall of text isn't very visually appealing on screen. I still think I'm dead no matter what here. Yeah, there's nothing else in the crypt that was going to be a better save than something with life drain on it. We've only had a few challengers here thus far since 2 people won last Wednesday. So the prize pool has not had all that much time to build up. Alright, and so the Death's Head Rider is going to force us to sacrifice a troop. And so now we have a naked board into which Raptos can swing, handily clubbing Takahiro. And so that was room 9. So Stigma Buster, getting to the final boss. This is going to be for all the marbles. Go home a victorious winner. Or be just short. And what is room 10? Room 10 is boss number 1. That doesn't remind me what it does yet. We shall see. This is Raptos' first time making it to a final boss. Raptos has many challenges against a dungeon before. Has not yet faced a final boss. Says, come on, give me a late Christmas present. Let's see what our matchup is going to be here. It's Grandfather Elk. This is fine. I think this is mono wild. Seek some adventure. Pass the turn. This deck might be able to give Raptos a headache. Lullaby can revert off all of those death cries. And I know there's Crocosaurs in here. The final boss has to have at least some of the nuts. So we'll have Clobberdon. Rekosaurus can give attacking troops Crush, so if these swing together, they become 4-3 with Crush. Problem with Lullaby though is it's revert all attacking troops. So as long as you know, a death cry thing doesn't swing, can't do anything to get rid of its ability. Alright, so let's throw down a pair of Clobberdons and pass it back. Alright, Raptos hits third resource drop. Makes that a 4/1. Summon a zombie, draw a card. I cannot lullaby that away. No resources for it. No swing. The aspect of the squirrel here is socketed with +1 and crush. Target troop you can control gets +3/+3 and all socketed powers of this. Is one of our special rare cards. Crackling Clash. Target troop you control battles target opposing troop and gain a charge. It's not as helpful because the battle means they're going to deal each other's damage to each other, so that'd die anyway and then explode out the death cries. I think the line is to swing in with these two. No blocks. I was going to aspect the squirrel if there had been a block there. But since there's not, I will go ahead and play Night Sky Prophet as is and pass the turn. Alright, so there's 4. Could now throw another Death Cry on there. And will. We're going to see the zombie into sacrifice combo again here. Alright, so Voracious Zombie. Thought Collector. Opts to sacrifice the Thought Collector to take my card. Oh, if that's the troop that got hit with the Night Sky's power of making the next troop bigger, I'm gonna be sad. Even more so if that's a Crocosaur. That could be Macrocosaur. Okay, so one thing's gonna trade. I'll aspect of the squirrel that one. Make that an 8/6. Pass it over. And now those came out on Raptos turns. Those could swing in. This is why it's good to have some hard removal, which we haven't really seen in that deck, but just something to take, like a kills valid and immortal, or any other action that can just straight up murder something regardless of power and toughness, would be a good thing to have at least a few of in deck. Alright, there's a Crocosaur. It is a 7/7. Don't have the resources. Just swinging with that. And put the wild growth on there. All of my eggs are in that one basket. I have nothing else going for me except a super Clobberdon. Raptos, so close. So close. Could not get there against the final boss. You misplay. Oh, did I have lethal on that? Well. Oh well. What's up, Ducklet? So we're going to be rolling for our first Evo code of the night. It will be based on chat activity and battle dancing. Okay, yeah, I see what you're talking about. That would have worked. Stigma Buster, no regrets. I like your combo. I like your combo. So I'm going to be AFK for about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. As soon as I come back, I am rolling for an Evo code. So you have as much time as it takes me to refill my water and come back. Literally anything in chat's going to count for you. And then when I'm back, we'll roll for this code and we will continue on with new challengers. I will be right back. All right, I am back. Let's get over to the right scene. And our winner is Sir Gaulis. So to win your code, okay, good, you're here. I also need your hex in-game name. We need those now for tracking purposes. So if you could kindly, okay, you are on the ball with that, and I am still really awful. I'm gonna send you a test whisper before I send you the actual code, just to make sure I don't screw this up. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I had that right, and now I will send you your actual code. Alright, there you go. You should have that now. Enter in game name Gouli. Alright, excellent. So we have that properly logged. And we will be doing another Evo code giveaway later in the evening. I will give you a heads up as we get closer to that. But for now, we're going to jump back over to the keyword for challenging the dungeon. We have 2 eligible players who have not yet challenged the dungeon. We've got Efaws in here, and we have Meowmaster. So it's going to be a coin flip between the 2 of you, and the winner shall be... It's Meowmaster, who had been waiting in the queue the longest, so I feel like justice is served. If you have not yet, of course, nobody has any obligation to have to step forward and challenge the dungeon. Feel free to be a lurker and enjoy. There is no shame, no guilt from me in doing that. Naturally, we have plenty of people who want to challenge the dungeon without me having to try to bully anybody into it. So never feel pressured. But Exclamation Challenger gets you in if you are interested. Otherwise, if nobody else is interested, then Efaws is the only active person in the queue who has not challenged the dungeon at all tonight and would be the next player by default. N-E-O-W Master. Alright, so Meowmaster will be sending me a challenge here. We will start from the beginning of the dungeon. The dungeon map looks like so. Everybody starts at room 1. You then move on to a connected room, so it'll be either room 15, 5, 2, or 8. And Razul, you are in there. I can confirm you are in the queue. Alright, so room 1. You will accept. We're going to remember to get rid of the dungeon map this time. Yeah, Exclamation Challenger, you have it right. You did it correctly. Can confirm you're there. Alright, so we will go first. Meowmaster playing Bishop Elijah. This isn't the greatest hand, but it does have 3 shards and 2 playables. We also have 2 Cocoonomancers if this game isn't over by the time we hit 6. I'm going to start with that Sapphire Threshold because everything in the deck, everything in the hand needs it. And I need to see what that mail is between games. I keep forgetting the mail icon when it just sits there. It's like, okay, I have to see what it is. Hey, Whimsy Witch is a great draw. Because now we've curved properly. We have a Bluebell Dryad we can play on 3, which will draw us another card when Whimsy Witch transforms into something. So this could be Conscript. When I see those 2 shard colors in Bishop Elijah, it's usually Conscript. And it's gone. So Winter's Grasp, Void target troop with attack 3 or less, takes out the Witch. So our mystery RNG fueled swing is gone for this turn, as is drawing a card off the Bluebell Dryad. But we'll still play that and pass it back. Meowmaster now on 3. Plays Battle Prep, so this is Conscript. Conscript a troop with cost 1. The created card gets +2/+2. I did a lot of work on the PlayStation 4 ladder last season playing Conscript. The entire deck cost like $3 if you have to buy every card in it. And it sailed its way up to gold, so I actually managed to rake in more in prizes off the ladder than the deck would have cost to build. And it's always nice to know that there's decks out there that can do that. I hear Budget Candles is very nice too. though I haven't pulled up the list to see how much that actually costs to put together. So this is a 3/3 on its own. When you have no cards in hand, it would get another +3/+3. I think I'm going to be a coward and not swing at the moment. Four resources is enough to bring the dead back to life. Put target trooper cost 2 or less from a crypt into your hand. And I'm just going to let that through. I'm going to bet something else is getting played right now. A decree of banishing. Okay. So there goes one of the Bluebell Dryads. And then an Eager Lackey is going to create Underworld troop that costs 4, which would be playable next turn. And seeking some guidance to Fate Weave and then draw that card. Alright, lots of Bluebell Dryads and absolutely nothing for them to help pull cards from. So we're just going to play and pass again. And now I'm probably not going to do this tonight because the stream is planned to run until 11 p.m. my local time. So this will probably happen in the next couple days, but okay, losing a troop. But sometime this week I will be posting an announcement thread on the official forums just to announce that that regardless of how many final bosses on this map get cleared tonight, because there are still 4 left, does not matter. Next week, this dungeon map is going to get scrubbed because this is kind of a remix dungeon of older deck ideas, and we're going to be starting the next dungeon next week. It's going to be quite different from this and quite different from dungeons I've done in the past. So it will be to people's benefit to kind of read in advance to know the different rules of what's going on. And I know I've posted this in chat tonight, but I'm just going to post the link there again. So there's the link to what we are doing for Dungeon Masters of Entrath next week. It is 5 little mini dungeons in one, each with their own deck building rules. So you can choose the dungeon experience that works for you. There will be some dungeons that will allow for rare cards, just not legendaries. That way I still have one power lever I can use to make the experience a little bit more difficult. And then others are going to function under the same rules as this dungeon. So if you have already built a deck for Dungeon Masters of Entrath here, the Silver Tower would be how you can play exactly the kind of decks we're playing right now. So if you're building a deck to meet these rules, you're not wasting your time because you will have a deck that you could play next week. And finally, something that can transform. I'm going to go ahead and take out that one, actually. And put a resource on top of the deck. Kind of want to get the Coconomancers here, and I'm going to pass the turn. What will be the hardest limitation? Probably the Time Tower, honestly, is the hardest limitation, because that's block constructed, so you can only use cards from those sets. So like the first 10 floors of the Time Tower next week, if somebody wants to challenge that, your deck can only include non-legendary cards from Shards of Fate and Shattered Destiny. Those two sets are no longer in print, so the only people who would actually be able to do that challenge are people who've been around for a while or want to, buy up some of those older cards. So that could conceivably be one of the hardest deck building requirements to get in the door on. I just don't want to chump block yet, which is probably a terrible decision, but I don't know what else to do. So I would kind of steer longtime veterans towards like the Time Tower or either the Prismatic Gold or the Gold Towers, where rare cards are okay but legendaries are banned, and Lasgar's Vengeance is also still banned. I don't think I can swing. The crackback would be too big. But newer players or players of limited budget, the Silver Tower and the Prismatic Silver Tower are probably the two best ones to challenge, because those will be commons and uncommons only, except that rare shards can be used, exactly like what we're doing now. For Prismatic Silver, floors 1 through 10 are Highlanders, so only one copy of a card in your deck. Kind of singles night, but of limited rarity, basically. And Immortal versus Standard. What tower is your character in? Stigma. Oh, I still need to make a couple. I still need to make a couple boss decks, but I don't think they're going to be needed for the very first stream. Stigma, you are not in a tower because you float between all of the towers. You can show up anywhere at any time. You are a random variable. And why did I do the Poppy Pixie instead of a Cocoonomancer? I'm not focusing properly right now. You want to fight your alternate universe as me? I want you to fight your alternate universe as you. So I have written, because the next dungeon is the first one that's going to have something of a story mode to it, I have written in a few people as characters. Pandemica, aka the Tribunal Magistrate, with his permission, is going to be one of the final bosses, or is going to be one of the dungeon sub bosses. Raptos is going to be one of the bosses. One of my best friends let me write him in as a twisted version of himself, so I'm going to be making fun of him. And I'm going to be making fun of myself. And then there's going to be one or two characters that aren't based on anybody. And it's going to be fun, and it's going to be weird, and you don't need to know the people to get the jokes, because I don't want it to be like too self-referential that nobody knows what the heck is going on. That would not be fun for anybody. Alright, so I need to get OBS up again. Here's the dungeon map. And we need to know 2, 5, 8, or 15. No, Neomaster ready. Says 5. Alright. So go ahead and shoot me the challenge when you are ready. No time wasted. On the ball. Room 5 is the Fear of Rejection, aka the Bounce Castle. And one Stigma Buster can verify evokes strong feelings. Get my OBS, get all of this repositioned how I like it. Alright, we're going to go first. Sounds fine. Daring Freebooter. I did take the map down, right? Yes, I did. Okay. Because I have a bad habit of forgetting to do that. We'll give Neomaster the play, and then I'll explain what I'm doing. So Ardent Allegiance, when this comes into play, it stuns another target. Stigma Buster, all the salts for this particular deck. Like, I don't care what the path is, I am not fighting. I am not fighting Daughter of Stars. So I'm gonna... I think I'm actually holding the Freebooter until I have a thing to stun. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I'm leaving points of damage on the table. It's probably wrong. But remember, we're playing casual Hex, not hardcore cutthroat Hex. This is the deck that probably caused your character to lose it. So Thunderfield Elder is one of our special cards here. Next action in your deck gets when you play this, copy it. So we're going to get some value. Deepwood Stroka, when you conscript, anything that's conscripted is going to have Swift Strike. Hey, have a good night, Stigma. Thanks for hanging out. Always glad to have you around. Alright, and let's Freebooter stun both troops. You're not gonna ready. You're not gonna ready. And now the way is clear to swing in for 3. Daughter of Stars, if you've not seen Daughter of Stars before, the charge power is for 10 resources and quadruple Sapphire Threshold. Put each opposing troop into its controller's hand. So that is the one-sided board wipe that we are gradually trying to build our way towards. Meanwhile, trying to establish enough of a presence to be able to, hopefully swing in for victory at the end. And we have actions like Crackling Tide here to help gain charges to accelerate towards the magic number of 10. There's a third Daring Freebooter. Stun you. Swing with everybody. Crackling Tide is quick, so when there's a crackback, we can put one thing back in hand. So that Eager Lackey's probably coming back off the charge power. Put target troop cost 2 or less from your crypt into your hand to be able to throw it down and get another 4-drop. There's definitely 2 4-drops in hand here. And Battle Prep. I should be bouncing this to hand sooner. Alright, so because that's a 4-3 with Swift Strike that I let happen because I didn't bounce this soon enough. Alright, so let's try to at least stop one. Conscript is a tough matchup for bounce because there's so many troops. Just so many troops, and this deck is meant to kind of annoy and delay. Alright, hilarity is going to ensue. Please, please live long enough to find whatever action that just hit. Because whatever action that just hit now has, whenever you play this, copy it on it twice. And this would be 2, 4, 6, 9. That blocks there. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure there's that much of a value proposition in swinging here. Tribunal Magistrate is raiding with a party of 14. Welcome you all to the 47th episode of Dungeon Masters of Entrath, the Hex Game Show. I'm going to be a coward and not swing. I would have gotten 4 points through, and I would have lost a troop. Can't make up my mind on if that was the right way to go or not. Earlier this evening, Stigma Buster, longtime challenger, made it to the final boss for the first time with a interesting Deathcry combo build. Was not able to pull it off though. So no final boss champions tonight. At least yet. If you wish to challenge the dungeon, as you see on screen, exclamation challengers. Yep, always Tuesdays as part of the official channel. I will not be streaming tomorrow from my own channel because it's going to be one of the busiest work days of the year for me, if not the busiest work day. And I can virtually guarantee I'm going to be tired and cranky by the end of my day tomorrow. And that does not make for a very fun stream when I'm just completely pooped. So we're bagging tomorrow's stream, and hopefully next week will be a lot easier. Alright, so Decree of Banishing is going to take out the flyer. I just want to, at this point, I just want to live long enough to see what the action is that has, when you play this, copy it on it twice. Before I get run out of the house. Double block and chomp. No! Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Cannot swing. 6, 7. Okay, that blocks the 6. Oh, don't kill me yet. Don't kill me yet. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it's not lethal yet. Come on, show me the action. Pfft. That's not the action. We may target and troop into its controller's hand. Yeah, sure. And I'll take you. Never did find the thing that has, when you play this, copy it on it twice. It shall remain a mystery for the ages. And Yeomaster is going to be 2 decks through the run. As if there was any doubt, is going to go ahead and Decree of Banishing the Buccaneer away. And so Conscript cares not for Daughter of Stars antics. That's all she wrote. Neomaster now has the choice of either rooms 17, or I'm sorry, not 17, 18 and 19 as the final boss route, or 11 into 12. Yeah, I was hoping to find the action that had when you play this, copy it on it twice. Okay, thank you. I'm like, what deck am I picking? I don't know. 18 is Mellophobia, which is the fear of music. So this is not the strongest deck in the universe, but I'm quite proud of the thematics on this one. I had a good time putting this one together. This just requires allegiance, right? Elf allegiance. I have elves. We're fine. Ugh. Uh, One Wild Root Dancer, which can't target itself. Two Balthazars. Yeah, nah. This is better. This isn't great either, but it's better. So we have our Merry Minstrels, a Blade Dancer, so we've got some dancing, and then Gigantify, the musicians, their ego grows, they become monsters with fame, they get +7/+7, and smash everything to the ground. So that is the story our hand is trying to tell. Just imagine that that's a guitar and not a rock at the end of a performance. They're like, yeah! And just trying to bash everything. But need to find some more resources to try to get huge. Neomaster playing Battle Preparations. So there's going to be a supercharged 1-drop coming next turn. And nothing to do but play Shard and Pass. Cheapest card is the Minstrels on 3. Champion is Balthazar the Eulogist. More for the thematics than the power. At 5 charges and double wild. If the top card of your deck is a resource, play it for free. Otherwise, draw a card and gain 2 health. And now all of those conscript troops are going to have Swift Strike. Alright, so again, in the music theme, we have the Lyricist. At the start of your turn, gain 1 temporary resource. The Merry Minstrels with Elf Allegiance, which we have, will give us a Wild Shard. And so that way we're definitely on 4 next turn. And just got to pass. Plays Droka, seeks guidance. Alright, now we're going to see the 1-drop. There's the boosted 1-drop. Windspeaker. Oh, that's a good one. Ready another troop or exhaust another target troop, and Neomaster's already in those thresholds. So that could play all kinds of havoc. I'm going to take 1 point of damage. Because I know that otherwise it's just going to get resurrected and replayed next turn. Don't have a point up for Wild Growth. what are we drawing? Spring again with the music theme. We have another dancer, the spring dancer. Throw out the lyricist for a little bit of ramp. Play resource here. And now intentionally holding back to leave a resource up for wild growth. I am hoping that Neomaster will swing in with that, to which we can use wild growth as a trick on a blocker and take that out of play. Call of the Deepwood creates a 5/4 Swift Striker. Alright, what's the swing? There we go. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and give you what you want in the name of health preservation. Block like so. Wild growth will add 3 and 3 onto the Merry Minstrels. So that will stem the tide of Swift Strike constructed troops. And now we have a Troubadour. The Ageless Troubadour, at the start of your turn, gain 1 temporary resource for each elf you control. So I actually want to go that into Spring Dancer rather than playing Tempestuous Blade Dancer here. Not swing, pass. So now we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 temporary resources. Yeah, it counts itself. So that'd be 4 plus 1 for the lyricist itself. So we're at 9 resources next turn. With the Gigantify and Smash to the Ground in hand. Sacred Stance is a problem. That's going to make everything huge now. Gigantify might be too late. Yeah, because that's 10. That's 10. I don't like it, but I'm giving up 1 elf. Eight, 9 resources. Let's hit our champion power. It's a crushing blow, which doesn't help in this situation. Crushing blow also only helps an attacking troop. Buff the Ageless Troubadour. Gigantify is quick. Very weird spot to be in a 7-cost quick action. No way to attack into that. But these things are just so big right now. So, block here. Make the Merry Minstrels go Super Saiyan with Gigantify, and that takes that out of play. Leaves one resource for a smash to the ground as a desperation move, which would only make a trade there. Wouldn't even trade there. Could actually get profitably block that. Well, that just throws everything off. Decree of Banishing probably gets rid of the Troubadour. And so now there's just two blockers. Now there's just... And then there was one. By the way, I'm virtually positive this is going to be the first time I ever actually got to play that card. I love Gigantify. It's so big, it's so expensive, it's so impractical. But it's beautiful. Alright, so 7 resources, a wide open board, no way to survive the crackback. 9, 10. This would be 1 point to deal 2, 2. And this is a 4, 4 for 5. This is just straight X. So I think the most damage we can possibly do, because we're dead. We're dead. It's a swing for pride. Is to hit for 18, just to say, hey, can't completely ignore us. But we were dead. We were dead this turn because that would lock down one troop. Those 3 more troops swing in versus 1 blocker. I mean, it's over. So Neomaster is going to go to a final boss fight. Yeah, just a little bit short on the tricks with that wide open board state. So the final room is going to be 19. Alright, so send me the challenge when you are ready. And room 19 is the Avatar of Ruby. Boy, this one goes back a ways. We haven't seen this one in a while. You ready for some Mono Ruby? Neomasters won the coin flip. If there's ever a time to win the coin flip, it's on the final boss. Alright, I have to greed keep. This hand is just busted. If find some shards to curve out. 2 Matriarch of Flames in the starting hand seems good. That's final boss. That's final boss tech right there. But now I will never draw the 3rd shard. In his greed, Thrawn met his demise. Jakisha, greed is not good. We shall see. Well, we're not actually hurting. We're not actually hurting for one more turn. I mean, ooh, okay, Sacred Stance. Now the things can start getting big. We've seen the Decree of Banishings. We know Neomaster has those in the deck that can take care of these. So they're not, you know, invincible. No 1-drop. I may have spoke too early. Okay. Nope, no 1-drop. Okay. Boom. Third shard C. We had it. Matriarch of Flames. Which right now is just a 3/3 with speed. Which, hey, still not bad. Nowmaster's gonna take 6. Needs to get some bodies in front of these. Or to find some removal. Hits a Decree of Banishing. So there goes Matriarch. Number 1. Plays a slow resource for fixing. Gets a 2/2 Eager Lackey. Benvolio's charge power 4 charges, draw a card. If the drawn card is a non-resource, it gets at the end of your turn discarded if you didn't play it. Alright, so what's better than 1 Matriarch? 2 Matriarchs. Ha! And swing. Eager Lackey is going to block probably there, indeed for a trade, and can be brought back with champion charge power next turn. And the second Matriarch is taken out. 2 Matriarchs in opening hand, no problem for Neomaster, who will bring back the Eager Lackey, play it again. No, it didn't. Oh, kept it in hand because then it can get the conscript hit. Actually, I don't think it matters where the Eager Lackey is. Sequencing, I don't think it mattered there. And now Eager Lackey is a 4/4. We have a Psychotic Anarchist. When this deals damage to an opposing champion, both people draw a card. Let's see if you want to let this happen. I'm disappointed. I would have preferred to have a card. Actually, I should have played Crushing Blow and save the burn potentially for the face. Because with how big those troops are going to get, face damage might be the backdoor way to win here. Although, running out of time, those are 2 6/6s. They're not playing around. And yeah, we're just gonna go for the... Is this quick? That's quick. I don't have to do it now. And that's quick. We're just going for face. We are going to try to slap Neomaster in the face. That's 5 points of damage. I expect if there's any conscripting, it's going to be pre-combat, so those get bigger. Oh, good. A 4/4 with life drain. What a perfect answer to my hope of smacking in the face with direct damage. And now, like, if I don't take that out, hitting to the face accomplishes nothing. So I'm 2 for 1-ing myself. Can't swing in with it. So I think Neomaster's going to take down a final boss. Running conscript. Benvolio wants to go aggro and is out of steam. That is a flying 8/7. All right, what you got for us, Benvolio? All right, our savior, the baby Yeti. Baby Yeti wants to go out with a bang. Totally doesn't matter, but Yeti went out in his blaze of glory. We are completely naked, and Neomaster is going to pull this off and be a champion. So congratulations to Neomaster. This is going to be it. Boom! Alright, and so Neomaster, let me quit out of here for a minute. Neomaster is going to walk away with 12,000 gold, 1 Dead of Winter booster, and 3 rares: Filcape, Trial of Totems, and Blessing of Unicorns. Yeah, as long as it's hex related, Neomaster, you can drop links, or reasonably appropriate for the circumstances. I'm fine with that. Now, I will be sending prizes out within 24 hours of the stream. I tend to be pretty tired by the end of the night and like to just crash. NEOWMASTER prize pool. So I need to change that to remind myself that's what I'm sending you. And let me see, I'm going to put in, then I need to reset the list. We're going to put in another Blessing of the Unicorns AA and a Thunderbolt Warden AA. 10,000 gold and a Dead of Winter booster. And the prize pool starts small, grows bigger over time. So, I had that written twice. So appreciate everybody bearing with me a minute while I do a little bit of housekeeping to reset while Neomaster wipe the floor with the dungeon. I need to quickly mark off those rooms as defeated. And save the map. Okay, so that's what the dungeon map looks like now. Those rooms were taken out. Coswell. What we are doing here is the current format is Immortal format, commons and uncommons only, except that you may use rare resources. If you wish to challenge me and you have a deck that meets those rules, the command is !Challenger to get in for the role, to have a shot at that. And then everybody starts in room 1. Matches are best of 1. If you win, you're choosing which room you're going to next in the dungeon that's connected to room 1, and you're working your way towards one of the 3 remaining final bosses, which would be 12, 17, or 18. The rules are going to be changing next week when we unveil a brand spanking new dungeon. So I'm going to post the link again to what's coming next week, because I don't think I've done that since Pandemica joined the channel with his raid. There are going to be 5 different sub-dungeons next week, each with their own theme. So if you are building a deck for what works now, you're not wasting your time. That deck will work in the Silver Tower next week, so you would have a way to challenge during the next official channel stream. Otherwise, there's the Gold Tower, in which rares are okay, but legendaries and Lasgar's Vengeance is banned. So if you see gold for anything, you can assume no legendaries and no Lasgar's Vengeance. There's the time tower, which is going to be block constructed, where you only can use specific sets. So if you're an older player who's been around for a while and has Shards of Fate and Shattered Destiny, that's a good place to roll for some old school constructed action. And then the prismatic towers are going to be every 10 floors a different rule type. So lots of different things going on. That's going to have the feel of kind of a community raid to it, where you want to cheer everybody on to be clearing towers because that's going to unlock more of the story for this dungeon as people progress. And I will be keeping track of players who complete a floor and keeping a leaderboard of how many floors each person has cleared, because at the end of the season, when the whole shebang is done, there will be special prizes for people with consistent attendance who've helped clear a lot of floors. The individual prizes for clearing a floor are going to be smaller in the next dungeon, but that's because I expect more people to be winning, because you only need to win 3 in a row instead of 4. So while the prizes are going to be smaller, more people are going to be winning stuff. Speaking of prizes, before we start our next dungeon challenger, let's do another giveaway for an Evo code. All this requires is that you have been active in chat within the last 20 minutes. So if you are here and you are still alive, say something in chat. I will give everybody a minute here, and then I will roll. And let me see here. I will, for this, I'm going to uncheck Champion of Solaris, Fred, Jakisha, and Yellmaster so that you're all eligible to win an Evo code. Because if you won the dungeon challenge, it takes you out of rotation so that you can't actually win. So that is fixed. If you challenge the dungeon, you have a shot at winning the Evo. And so I'm going to take another quick break. We have about 40 minutes left in our stream tonight, which could be 1, maybe 2 more challengers. So when I am back from my break, my 2-minute break, I'm not going to be gone very long. When I am back, we will roll for the Evo code first. I will send that out, and then we're going to roll for our next challenger in the dungeon. I'm going to post the link again to next week's rules because that's what really matters. And I'm going to trust chat to explain to you what the rules are for the next 40 minutes. Because after that, things change for next week. But the link I just posted to you, hopefully you're on PC and can access that. Otherwise, I'm going to be posting it on the forums again by the end of the week so that people know what's going on. But I will be right back. Give me 2 minutes, and then we'll roll for that Evo code. Alright, I am back, and let's roll for an Evo code. And the winner is... Bum-ba-da-da, Jakisha in the house. Jakisha winning the Evo code. I do need you to speak up in chat just to make sure that you are still here. And I'm assuming your in-game name is still Jakisha since we played earlier tonight, but if you could let me know that in chat as well. That way 100% I don't make any mistakes. And yes, I can. So there's the rules. Where do I keep my codes? So the rule, when you pull that up, Coswell, the rules for the silver tower are pretty much exactly what we're doing right now. And all the other towers are going to be new rule options for people. Alright, so Jakisha. There's your code. Congratulations. And I'm going to get back over to the other role, which is the keyword. Alright. And alright, so this next one is for who is going to be our next challenger of the dungeon. Got 4 people in here that have not challenged the dungeon at all. And our winner is going to be Tribunal Magistrate, the Raider himself, aka Pandemica, and one of our dungeon lords in next week's dungeon. Alright, I need to see this mail too. Fred, stuff for the dungeon. Holy shenanigans. Here's some extras you can use as the prize pool for the dungeon. Distribute them as you see fit. Wow. Hype for Fred. Thank you so much. I'm not going to claim these right now because I want to make sure that I document all of that before I hit the claim button. That way I don't lose track of it. Wow. Thank you, Fred, for the prize support for our show. Much obliged. Those are gonna be some good things to start sprinkling in and doling out with my own stash next week. Actually, wait, this is safe to claim as long as I don't delete it, right? Yeah, already claimed, and don't delete it. Do not delete it. That way I can write down out what all the stuff was. Okay, Coswell, how do you actually enter the dungeon? Is it like a special event? Or do players play against each other and then report winners and losers? So it is designed like a game show where you are challenging me. I design the decks and then, we square off. So I do usually prefer, if you are the one actively fighting me for the time you're fighting me, you treat it like kitchen table game and don't have the stream up to see what my hand is. But for the rest of the stream, it's fine. And because I usually have quite a few people who are interested in it, I do a keyword raffle and roll, and whoever wins the roll then gets to challenge me. That way, it's kind of a little bit of luck of the draw, just like a game show, like The Price is Right. Come on down, you're the next contestant. Nobody knows who it's going to be. It's kind of the same way. That way, it's a little bit more fair than me just kind of cherry picking people. I don't want to play favorites either intentionally or unintentionally, so doing the keyword raffle like that takes that out of my hands a little bit. But if you have challenged a dungeon once in a night, then I take your name out of the hat until everybody else who wishes to challenge the dungeon on that night has had a chance to go. That way, it's not like the same 2 people who got lucky with rolls basically taking up half the show. And so we are waiting on a challenge from Pandemica. And I have not wiped the exclamation challenge command. So if you enter that at any point in tonight's stream, you're still in there. Yeah, and I don't mind. I have no problem explaining what's going on here because this is a unique concept. It's not like what any other hex streamers are doing, which is one of the reasons we were able to get this on the main channel in the first place. Is that there's nothing else like it, but because it's unique rule sets and custom challenges and all of that, you need to explain it to newcomers so that they understand what's going on. I am doing this. I do Dungeon Masters of Entrath streams twice a night. So if you like what you're seeing here, I also stream from my own personal channel, which is Thrawn Omega, on Wednesday nights from 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific. So you can catch me there. For more action like this, and for another chance to challenge me. However, I will say, as I mentioned earlier tonight, that this week I will not be streaming from my own channel tomorrow. It is going to be probably the busiest work day of the year for me. I expect that I'm going to be extremely tired, probably crabby tomorrow night. I'm just going to need to put my feet up and relax. If you see me in Hex, I'm probably just doing a chill Evo or grinding out some more of the event cards that I don't have yet, but it's going to be super laid back. You would not want me as a streaming personality tomorrow. So I'm doing us all a favor and canceling tomorrow's stream on my own personal channel, but next week should be 100% back to a normal schedule of Tuesday on the official channel, Wednesday on my personal channel. Pandemica throwing down a wicked web spawn. When you scrounge, summon 2 dreadlings. Alright, I'm going to Fate Weave. Do I want Adventure or... I think I want Fortune. And let's roll the dice that we hit something that has more than 2 defense. Oh, hey, that's a good hit. Angel of Agony, 4/3 flight, swift strike. And those 2 will trade, which is fine. Although maybe I wanted to keep that alive to turn it into something with Poppy Pixie, but I'm terrified of what Scrounge would do. So I'm not sure I feel bad about that being gone. War Machinist. When another artifact enters play under your control, this deals 1 damage to each opposing champion, which combos with the Wicked Web spawn. Scrounging summons 2 dreadlings, so that'd be 2 dreadlings, 2 damage to the face. The dreadlings swing in. Lots of nasty pain potential there. All right, and there's resource number 4. And now step 1. Swing with Whimsy Witch, which turns into a 4/3. Step 2. Your opponent does not block it, which goes well for us, because then step 3 is Battle of Destiny to get that the heck out of here. Seek some adventure. And get that the heck out of here. Seek some more adventure. Because that is a combo deck that wants to do some filthy combo things, and I would prefer that Pandemica has the most miserable possible time trying to make some dreadlings. Because otherwise we can get burned out very, very quickly. Alright, Pandemica has 4 resources in hand, 1 Sapphire. Here's the other piece of the combo. Vilefang Eremite. When a spider enters play, this deals 1 damage to the Dungeon Master, gain 1 health. So all of those synergize into one big gigantic combo of pain. You know, that's quick, that's quick. Let's swing. We get a 4/4. The rest of the text I don't think is going to matter for either of us about reduced hand sizes. It says 4. Is that lethal? That's lethal. That's 7. 8, 9, 10. It's a trap! Pandemica could not keep the combo pieces on the board long enough. GG's. And let's add into our prize pool. I'm just going to keep pulling from my stash for tonight until I've had a chance to log everything Fred provided. Oh, those were already from here. We're adding Unleash the Beast into the prize pool. And I may have to remix how the prize pool is going to work for the next dungeon, but bam. Okay. And next challenger is, this is probably going to be our final challenger of the night. Razul. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So Razul is a PlayStation 4 player, and the only way we've found to do this is that the two of us are going to have to queue up into the Immortal queue at the same time and hope that we find each other, which actually worked last time. It actually worked last time. So, Razul, if you wanted to run, if you still want to roll, let me know. And then let me know when you're ready, and I will jump in the Immortal queue and try to find you. Oh, middle of a match, 2 seconds. Alright, I'll hang out for a bit. Yeah, so all of these, let me see here. All of these dungeons, all these decks that have 6 in front of them, everything that has an F on it, those are all going to be part of the silver dungeon. So there's going to be a ton of potential encounters there, and then every other tower type for next week's dungeon has a minimum of 6 encounters ready for it, and probably more because I will continue to be building decks throughout the life of the dungeon and adding more to it. By the time the next dungeon is completely cleared by the Hex community, I will have built over 120 unique decks for it. So I've a lot of time. Oh wait, just adding some rare resources. Okay, I need to cancel the search then. You should hire some henchmen. So I keep wanting to move the L in your name and call you Soltagon. That is something I kinda want to be working on. People probably don't want to click that link. I need to spend some time on this, and I'm not quite have everything set up yet, but I want to make a Dungeon Masters of Entrath Discord channel where people can jump in there and offer up deck ideas, post cool things, give me feedback, so that I can kind of crowdsource a little bit of the decks and therefore be able to put together content faster than if it's just my own brain spitting it all out. Plus, people constantly come up with cool things I never would have thought of, like Stigma Buster's Death Cry deck. Wouldn't have. I guess in the back of my mind, I kind of knew the combo was there, but I never built it like that. Or you could just post the deck list or make a chain, someone in charge of a wing. That too. All right, we're ready. I'm gonna jump in as soon as I find this again. All right, let's go. And this is how you hope to get lucky and match up against somebody when they're on PS4. And I hope PlayStation 4 Direct challenging becomes a thing in the near future, so that it's a lot more easy on both ends of the spectrum for me and the challenger to actually be able to play a PlayStation 4 player direct without having to hope the system gives you a hand. I do to the maximum extent possible like to keep deck lists a secret until somebody's actually seen them on stream. That way people can't, just read through a deck list in advance and be like totally prepared to wipe everything. So for next week's dungeon, floors are going to be 3 encounters. Once somebody has seen what the 3 encounters are, or we're actually probably going to do like dice rolls to decide what the 3 encounters are, and then those 3 encounters will remain the same until somebody has cleared that floor, so that it's not completely entirely random, but people will have a chance to see what the 3 are, and then when that floor is cleared, we'll re-roll for the next floor. Except that some floors are going to be set in stone where I will choose 3 specific encounters that people have to beat. Some floors I have in mind as specifically dungeon or boss floors, where I have in mind a specific thing needs to happen. So there's going to be a mix of randomness and pre-scheduled content for the next dungeon. Yeah, this actually worked last week. Razul and I played through the first two encounters of a dungeon. But if this doesn't work, I don't know. All right, let's hope. We're gonna hope. Show me Razul. That's Cosmic with animated sleeves. That's not. It's not who we were looking for. So congrats on your free win. Sorry, not Mihitomi. I hate to be that guy. I'm trying to specifically find. Alright, so we're gonna give this one more shot. We're gonna give this one more shot, but if it doesn't work, we're gonna have to hang it up for the night. So there's probably a bit of a stream delay. So I'm going to hit the search button when Razul says go, because I'll see that immediately, and that way I'm not potentially searching for like 10 seconds. Shit. I needed to have the deck ready first. Why do you not save my deck? Alright, hopefully that will still work. I'm going to take that off the screen because we're winding down for the night. All right, I'm still searching, so hopefully. All right, is this it? Did it work this time? Bronze, 91 card deck, Shadow Walkers. Didn't work. They're not a PlayStation 4 player. They're not. Yeah, it didn't work. We got really lucky last week. We got really lucky last week. So do we just confuse this person and play this out? I like this hand. But yeah, this is why trying to pair up against a PlayStation 4 player in the Immortal queue is not a good experience for me or the PlayStation 4 player. Because you gotta get lucky. Unranked constructed doesn't work because I think it's only standard. I've tried that before. All right, Razul didn't get the memo that I'm in game. All right, and this is why I will never actually track my Immortal stats like everything else, because I'm giving out free wins. So unranked constructed, can I actually... Oh, hey, look, I can. No, I can't. This is only a tiny fraction of my decks. That the unranked constructed queue will not work, because when I choose a deck, these are the only ones I have to choose from, which is a tiny subset of my decks, and not the one that is actually the first boss fight. Please. All right. Third time. What? No! No, we had it! All right, it's best out of 3. I'm saving. Don't concede, that's me. Your ears will go away. I am trying to murder Jakisha's ears. I am sorry. I will only speak in a very flat monotone voice so that I do not unnecessarily raise the pitch or volume of my voice in a way that would hurt Jakisha's ears. So for the last 10 minutes or however long this takes, it's going to be a very boring stream. Does he know you can save? Because we're not going to be able to set up a run in the last 10 minutes of my block. No, not going to do that. Encountered an error while saving deck. Please try again. Whatever. I didn't change anything, so Yeah, he says scream from the top of your lungs because he like hit the knob on his volume all the way to 0. He's like, all right, go ahead, and my ears are gonna be fine. All right, Razul playing Adani Zedek. I'm gonna be the idiot who does the one shard keep because it's an ice. Next level greed. It's not 0, it's like 2%. Yeah, sorry, I'm using a like $20-$30 headset. I don't have the budget for higher end streaming equipment now, though I would like to upgrade my webcam and my headset at some point. But I think this entire ensemble is like $50. It's like a $30 webcam and a $20 to $30 headset, and that's it. And so of course I go from a Fate Weave shard to another Fate Weave shard. So I'm technically getting resources, but that's not helping the curve. And there is a Sunrise Spectre. Okay, so I have 2 cracks at Fate Weaving, and I can't find a wild threshold in all that time. Play the Whimsy Witch and pass the turn. Verdict, draw a card. Yeah, I got plenty to choose from. I'm okay losing the pummel. All right, you can have a card because I don't want to lose my witch. And now that can swing for 3 and gain 3 and another verdict. Knock it off. All right, I would have preferred to keep Battle of Destiny actually. That is an 8 health swing. Oh, crud. I don't have the... I was like, yeah, I get to play a wild... or a party fungi. No, no you don't. No, you don't. Lux Guard, flying 3/2, and again, pick your pain. Make those things bigger or lose my only troop. You probably would have been better to lose my only troop. Oh, I kept a bad hand, and I am punished for my sins. Need a wild for 5 out of the 6 cards in my hand. Oh, and you're right. It would okay at the start of your turn revert this. So if it has the defense, it. Yep, you're correct. I gave up some free points of damage there repeatedly. And now Verdict. Well, the meaning of sacrifice is pretty unambiguous. Take 7, so pretty dead here. Still never found wild threshold. So since we're dead in the air, just wanted to see what I'd get. 2-3 doesn't matter much. That's 3, it's 4, 7, 9, 10, 11. Trying to kill me by non-combat damage? Nope. Alright, so we're dead. And let's see where Razul wants to go from here. Enjoy your free immortal ticket. I'm assuming the queue's still giving those out. Alright, we may have to bookend this, just because this is normally my end time, and I do have to work tomorrow pretty early. Okay, what room do you want? 5, 2, 15, 8? You're going to 16, okay, but you have a choice of 15 or 2 as to where you're going first. You have 2 potential encounters before you get to 16. Put that in chat too. 2 or 15 first. 5. Yeah, 5 works too. 5's eligible. Because then your 5, 11, and 12 would be the route. What's 5? Five is Bounce Castle. Alright, let's see if we can get lucky again. Can we manage a match in the Immortal queue? I feel like I need to get the Jeopardy theme up here. I'm afraid to do it though in case that's copyrighted, and I can't play copyrighted music. You all can imagine the Jeopardy theme. Yeah, so we're gonna give this one more shot, and don't take this personally, Razul, in any way. But just due to the time that it's 11 p.m. that I have to be to work at the morning, and the amount of difficulty that this takes, I'm not sure that we're gonna be able to get you in an entire run tonight. And you know, you've been good about coming to a few of these. I think I will need to figure out a way to make it up to you. Like, we carry on your run at another point, because I can't stay up until like midnight, 12:30 in the morning, especially if we're fighting the matchmaking system here. So if this works, we'll carry on. But if this does not work, I'm gonna have to say, you know, good night, and let's try this again sometime. Because I definitely want to include PlayStation 4 players, and I am in no way saying, PS4 players take a hike. I don't want you, because I'd love to play with you. I just wish it wasn't this freaking ridiculously inconvenient for the both of us. All right, let's see who we got. Well, the sleeves. There we go. We found them. Can't play that. That is playable. So, Wheatness, we have a game. We have a game. So, Daring Freebooter, we can stun something. Mage. Not certain what the right course is versus Verdict here. I think I'm just going to play it to have a body and try to swing. Let's try to get a couple points of damage in here. And play Thunderfield Elder. So once again trying to hit next action in the deck with when you play this, copy it. Do you agree upon an in-game time to hit Q? Now we've both tried to basically just hit go at about the same time and then hope we get lucky and get paired up. And that's how the two of us have been doing it. Because so far Razul is the first and only PlayStation 4 player who's challenged the dungeon, and this is the way we've had to do it both times. All right, so go for 4. Swing for 5 damage here. Okay, put target troop into its controller's hand. It gets cost +1. When you play a Spirit Verdict, I'm doing you a favor if I'm bouncing things. So I'm just going to play the Buccaneer. Oh, hey. Wait, I can do that to my own troop? I'm going to bounce my own thing so I can get another copy stack. Better be good, because I'm giving up 3 points of damage to do it. I really like the... you can have a Daybreak, because I don't want to risk giving up the Thunderfield Seer I just worked for. I really like the music for the boat. The boat battle board theme music, I think, is my favorite in the game. Alright, you can have a Phantom. think I want the Mystic Naturalist here to block against flyers and hopefully start making some birds because we're going to need a bit of Air Force. I should have swung with the Buccaneer. That was a mistake. That was me going too fast. So we have opposite. You hate the battle board. All right, have another Phantom. Stop making me. All right, I'm gonna lose it. Oh, whew, still kept it. Summon a daybreak. Oh, too many. Too much verdict. It has kind of a Celtic feel to it, and I've always liked that kind of music. So maybe that's a part of it for me. Alright, so that's a ton of flyers, and this could be the second time tonight I'm dead before I get to see what I hit with when you play this copy it twice. So I can't swing him with the Mystic Naturalist, it'd just be silly. I don't even know what's right anymore. There is no right against the verdict onslaught. Oh, ugh. Verdict making me lose the will to live. Well, when you're already this weak. Look at that. Look at that. 6-6, 6-6. Verdict's good. 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Gonna see what I copied? Nope. I'm gonna balance something that doesn't have a verdict trigger on it. And pass. Dang it. Twice tonight. 2 stacks of when you play this copied on an action and I never find the action. It's a curse. Alright, so he's gonna... I would probably pick a resource there for another verdict trigger, and that's exactly what happens. We'll sacrifice our Buccaneer, because everything's flying anyway. Have a Nightfall. I like your odds. Yeah, a Spirit is a verdict trigger, I guess, in and of itself. Whereas those would be like 2. Alright. I'm going to symbolically bounce one thing over to your hand. And then we're going to be dead. And, okay, so... Kablamo. 43 health. Alright, now I gotta... break out here. Okay, so I think the path was already set. We're going 5 or 11 into 12. Yes, 11 to 12. Alright, so monophobia, the fear of being alone. Yeah, 12 gynophobia, the fear of women, is a toughie. Oh, I'm worried that was too fast. What's up, the crafty dog? We're in our final challenger of the night. I'm already 12 minutes past my normal run time. And it's not. It's not Razul. That one, that battle board is the Canyon battle board. If you were talking about this map, this is for the dungeon. For Dungeon Masters of Entrath, I create a series of decks. Everybody starts at deck 1, and then you have to fight your way through linked dungeons. Quiet, Siri, I'm not talking to you. You fight your way through linked encounters to try to get to one of the final bosses, and if you defeat the final boss, you win the grand prize, which builds up over time. So we start this on the official channel, 8 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday nights. On my own channel, 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific on Wednesdays. You can find me at Thrawn Omega on Twitter and Twitch and Xbox Live and basically everywhere but in Hex, where within the game I'm simply Thrawn. No, it's just an overlay. It's an image I created myself, and then I can, with OBS, I can either turn it on to show it to you or take it off. I wish it was in-game. That'd make things easier for me if I could create maps in-game. We're going to give this one last try. If this does not work, if this does not work and we're not paired up with Razul, then I'm going to call it a night. And we'll figure out how to make it up to Razul in a future stream, because I hate to shortchange people, but we're already over my runtime, and I do have to be a responsible adult and work. Alright, so fingers crossed that we'll actually get paired up this time. Like I said, the most patient streamer in the world. I have been described before as having the patience of Job. And for those of you who may not be raised religious, Job was basically given the shaft by God on multiple occasions, and for some reason still kept it and kept on going. Nope, I got S regulators twice, and I can't even send them a message just to explain why I'm just straight quitting. We can't challenge via chat, Jensling, because Razul's a PlayStation 4 player, and there is no direct challenge. There is no chat in PlayStation 4 right now, so we literally have to resort to this. Yeah, yeah. Hey, I'm just saying. All I'm saying is that that's the context. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, is that Job got screwed repeatedly, and for some reason, still held his faith. People have said that I will just like soldier through anything, so that's the description. But yeah. So sorry for the anticlimactic ending to the stream. But it's a quarter after 11 p.m. for me, as you can see. I got to be to work at 8 a.m. So I just can't continue to bash my head against the immortal queue trying to hook up with your Razul. Hopefully we'll have better luck in the future. I'm gonna make a note to myself here that you had defeated rooms 1 and 5. And we'll try to figure out a way to get you included in a future dungeon or something, but I just can't. I just can't keep trying to bash at that all night. Yeah, so this will do it for me, everybody. I want you to appreciate y'all hanging out for me for the last almost 3.5 hours. I will be back again. You will see me next again on the official channel next Tuesday, which will be January 2nd. We're going to start at 6 p.m. Pacific, run 3 hours. It'll be a new dungeon. I'm going to post in the chat here one last time what the rules are going to be for next week. So take a look at that, study that. I will have prizes out for Neomaster tomorrow. I need to get straight to bed here, so when I next log into Hex Neomaster, I will send you your loot for defeating the grand prize. And by the end of the week, I will post in the official thread forums the rundown on the towers of the Nameless City and stuff, so that more people have a breakdown on what the rules are with a little bit of time to build things. But that'll be it for me. Hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll catch you next week.